Hey guys, welcome back to Bullfrog Hikes. It's been a while since I've been on this channel, and I just wanted to talk today about all the gear that I carried on the Appalachian Trail, the things that I finished with at the end of the trail. A lot of things changed as I hiked 2,200 miles, but this was the final items in my bag once I got to Katahdin, and yeah, I'm just gonna go over what's inside. Hopefully you can learn a few things about maybe some ways you can lighten your pack if you're starting your own through hike in the coming months. First and foremost are my trekking poles. These are the Black Diamond Ergo Cork trekking poles. They did really good the entire trail. I felt that they really supported my weight well, and I would definitely recommend them. They were great for pitching my tent in all sorts of conditions, and yeah, just a super reliable piece of gear. On this side you got a 1 liter Poland Springs water bottle, and the Katadyn Be-Free filter and bladder. So I had 2 liters capacity. This is my electronics bag, and let's open it up here and see what's inside. I carried a 30,000 milliamp hour power bank, and if you can see on there, I have Leuco tape and duct tape wrapped around it. So this was great. I almost never ran out of battery, and I just felt really safe having that peace of mind. The next thing in here is my Zilio satellite communicator. It was great for keeping in touch with my family and letting them know that I'm safe, as well as giving live check-ins on my location so they can track me as I'm hiking. The rest of this is just some cables, but also here's my power brick. This is the RAV power brick. It has 2 dual port charging, and it charges at 65 watts, so really fast charging for that battery. I carried a micro USB and a Type-C connector. The micro USB was just for charging my Zilio because it still uses the old standard. But that's about it. Everything else I had was USB-C, including my headlamp, which is the Nightcore NU25. And I did modify it with a single bungee and a spring in the back so I can adjust the tightness of the fit. I would usually keep my electronics bag in the mesh pocket on the outside of my pack so that it's easily accessible. I was really happy with Hilltop packs, and these stuff sacks, they really kept my electronics dry. I never felt like it was gonna soak through or anything, so I was really happy with that. The next item in my mesh pocket right here is this Thermarest Z-Lite sit pad. This is by far the best sit pad I could recommend because of how narrow it is, and I can store it in my mesh pocket really comfortably. So this was a great item, highly recommend. Right here these are the carbon stays for my tent, which I'll go over in a minute. But I actually did end up sometimes keeping these on the outside of my pack because that way I can stuff the tent inside, because these were just too wide so it wouldn't fit with the tent. But if I remove these, keep them in the mesh pocket, I can keep my tent inside the pack. And this is just my Nylafume pack liner. So usually I'd have the pack liner inside, but I just took it out for the video because I didn't want a bunch of crunching noises, obviously. And that's a very important piece of gear, and you can use a garbage bag or really anything as long as it's waterproof. I recommend either like a trash compactor bag or a contractor bag. Those work too. But Nylofume is by far the best because of how strong it is and how light it is, and also it being transparent. You can like see through it, so you can see what you're getting. Just really nice to have as a pack liner. So this is my repair kit, the Z-Packs thread and needle. Highly recommend. I actually did use this to fix my backpack, as well as a few other people, friends that I met on trail. They needed help with their gear, so I would always lend this to them and let them use it because it was much better than any other thread and needle that was around. Just my repair kit for my sleeping pad, as well as some DCF tape for repairing my tent. Here's a lens cloth for cleaning my phone if that ever gets dirty. Sharpie pen, deuce of spades trowel, great for digging cat holes. This is a bungee that I would use for my quilt if it was on really cold nights. So I always kept that in here, but 90% of the time I didn't need it. These are earplugs for sleeping in case somebody was snoring really loud. This is like a vial of ibuprofen, and these are the gel cap version, so they're kind of nice. You feel the effect a lot faster with the gel caps. So really they're just for emergencies. I would not recommend taking ibuprofen like routinely. Only if I had some major pain or injury, I would pull that out. This is Gorilla Glue super glue gel. Really good for gluing your shoes back together, and that came in handy a lot. Just a Ziploc bag with 2 lighters, and the Kulo Clean bidet. It's really nice. You just push it into your water bottle and you can wash yourself off in the woods after going number 2. There's really not much first aid items in here, so I will say that having that duct tape and Leukotape on my battery wrapped around it, that's really useful because that's essentially like my makeshift bandage if I need it. So yeah, good stuff here. Next things, so these are my front pockets that I would usually keep all my snacks in throughout the day. And here's actually clip-on sunglasses so that I can turn my glasses into sunglasses, which is really useful. And right here is my phone. It's the S24 Ultra. Great phone. I recommend going premium when it comes to going on a thru hike like this, because you then don't really need to bring a camera, and having a good camera on your phone is just so vital to taking those. I mean, being good at photography is important too, obviously, but having a good camera with that extra zoom really helps you get those like epic photos that you wouldn't otherwise be able to capture. So yeah, and then these mesh pockets, they also have a waterproof pouch, which I keep my phone in when it's raining really bad. But yeah, also my Skull Candy earbuds for listening to music, very important item. I just never really wanted to get the wireless earbuds because it's another thing you have to charge. It weighs a little bit more, and I feel like I could just lose them. So I really liked having the wired earbuds personally. So that's everything on the outside of my pack. I think, oh, actually there's one more thing. My, I guess, hygiene items, sort of. So just got a travel size toothbrush and toothpaste and a mini floss. This pink pouch right here is full of chafing cream, and I use Shamio's chafing cream. It's for cyclists, but it works really well for hiking too. And there's just a thing of Banana Boat sunscreen, and this one has protection plus vitamins, 30 SPF, 12-hour hydration. So this is like the slightly better Banana Boat sunscreen. I just found that at a gas station, so that's what I went with, and it worked great. Oh, there's also my stakes. Can't forget those, very important item. These are the Durston V-shaped stakes, I believe. And these were amazing. I actually lost my original stakes that I started with, which were the Easton Nano aluminum stakes. Those were great, but because I lost them, a friend of mine gifted these to me, and that came in super clutch. Shout out to the clap. Okay, so inside here, usually it keeps it at the top of my bag is my food bag. Coghlan's 25-liter food bag. And I think it's made out of just nylon, honestly. I don't know. It's a really cheap one. I found it on the trail, so it's worked for me. But here's my cold soaking jar. It's just a Talenti ice cream jar. And then this is the Tokes titanium spoon. And my Bear line, which is the Z-Packs 2mm Z line. That's everything in my food bag, and the things I ate were generally like snack type foods. I liked having foods that were quick and easy to eat. I didn't really like to cook or cold soak much, so yeah, I would try to carry out as much town food as possible. And because there's so many towns on the Appalachian Trail, you really don't need to carry that much food if you think about it. There's only a few sections, like maybe the 100-mile wilderness, where I had to carry like 5-6 days of food, but for the most part, there's so many towns you could really get away with not carrying too much food at all. But that depends on you. Obviously, everyone has different needs and requirements. So, yeah, just thought I'd mention that. And this is my tent. It's the tarp tent, Aeon Lithium. Great tent. I have over 3,000 miles on it at this point, and it's still holding up. It's still keeping me relatively dry. I will say, because I'm a slightly taller dude, I'm like 6'4", so this is a little bit too small for me. I found myself kind of rubbing on the walls every once in a while, like with my quilt, and things would get wet. So I actually do want to try out the Hyperlight Mid 1, because I think that tent is like one of the larger single person, one person, one pole trekking pole tent that you can buy on the market, because this one is just a little bit, just a hair too small. So, but still did great, and I would still use it, honestly. Here's my pillow. It's just an Exped ultralight pillow. Very important item in my opinion. Bug net. I would just carry this the whole trail. It's super helpful. Sometimes the bugs are so bad you just need some relief, and hiking with this definitely helped me throughout my journey. This is my sun hoodie, and I usually don't carry this inside. I would be wearing this throughout the day. And it's just a Mount Hardwear sun hoodie. Not a huge fan of this one. I don't have the one that I hiked in, which was the Sahara, the REI Sahara Shade sun hoodie, which is absolutely phenomenal. But this is one of the ones that I own, so I do like having a sun hoodie on the Appalachian Trail, just because my skin is a little bit sensitive to sunburn. So definitely not an item that everyone had, but with the way my base layers and with the way my layering system was set up, I felt like this also provided a little bit of extra warmth on cold days, and it was just great. The Sahara sun hoodie, highly recommend it. Just some more items I wouldn't actually carry, but I would hike in, are the Nike Challenger run shorts with a 5-inch. These are amazing. They have a liner built in, so they're great for staying comfortable down there as you're hiking all day. I would highly recommend this as your main thing to hike in. These are just some Silverlight merino wool socks. They're ankle height. I would sometimes hike in these. Most of the time I would keep these in my bag and sleep in them. But the socks that I did prefer to hike in were my Farm to Feet socks. Super comfortable and warm. Highly recommend these. These are some of the best hiking socks. I think I even like them better than Darn Toughs, just for how warm they are and how they keep my feet like dry and ventilated throughout the day. These are the Mountain Dynamo wind pants, and one cool feature about these is that they have a zipper, so you can take these off and put them on with your shoes still on, and you don't have to take your shoes off when you have to do it. That's a very useful feature. Decathlon synthetic puffy jacket. These are really cheap. I think I bought this for $60 and it weighs around 1 pound, so it's a great budget item. It kept me really warm. I switched back to this towards the end of the trail, but most of the trail I carried my Senchi fleece and my rain jacket, and those are my only 2 other layers besides for my sun hoodie. So you could really get away with very little on the trail. I would say before the Smokies, definitely have this in your pack as well as those other layers. But then after the Smokies, you can send this home. And then for me, I ended up, by the time I got to Gorham in Maine, I felt like, all right, I need my puffy back, and I sent my fleece and just had this and my rain jacket as my layers, and that worked out great. Next thing in here is my sleeping pad. It's the X-Lite, Neo Air X-Lite in large, and this weighs around 1 pound and keeps you super warm. No complaints. I really love this thing. I did have to, this is my second one because my first one had a baffle explode, so I warrantied it and then got this one. But this is an item that I would highly recommend, and I feel like it's pretty thick, it's not gonna pop, just a super nice item. And then last but not least is my quilt, Z-Pax Solo 20-degree quilt. This quilt is absolutely fantastic. It kept me warm the entire trail. I never felt like I needed a liner or any additional, anything extra, like maybe some people will use down booties, things like that. And with it having 2,200 miles on it, it's already kind of thinned out a little bit. It doesn't have the same warmth as it once did, but that was kind of useful because by the time I got up to past Virginia, it just started to get so hot that it was kind of nice to have a quilt that's not as warm as it once was, because you know, you're sleeping pretty hot at night. It's a great item, kept me very happy. Okay, so that's everything. And the backpack, Waymark Evolve 35-liter backpack, with these 2 pouches that I added. I had no hip belt the entire trail, and that worked for me, but I kept my weight pretty low. The heaviest my pack ever got was in the 100-mile wilderness, where it probably would have been nice to have that hip belt, honestly, but that's because I had a 6-day food carry, so my bag weighed around 32 pounds, and that was quite heavy for me. But yeah, I absolutely love this backpack. It kind of sucks that they don't make it anymore. Waymark went out of business, but there are definitely some similar products around. I actually ordered a Neighborhood Packs backpack, and I'm gonna make a video review about it, and that's gonna be my new backpack for the PCT, which I plan on doing next year. So stick around for some of that information. This really goes to show you don't really need very much at all in the woods to be happy. I think ultralight through hiking is a super fun thing to do. A lot of people see it as like, how are you not miserable? Like, you don't have any extra clothes, you don't have any extra luxury items. You know, it just depends on your level of experience and comfort. If you're not ready to go this light, then maybe don't. My base weight came in at around, I want to say 10.5 pounds, just to be safe, and that includes the trekking poles. So without the trekking poles, it was maybe 9.5 pounds, something in that ballpark. But yeah, it wasn't extremely ultralight. I felt like I was safe and I had everything I needed. And so yeah, it really is astounding how many people get injuries, and even if they're not injured, just are in so much pain on their hikes, and they don't have to be, and it's mostly just because they're carrying too much stuff. It's not always the gear. Sometimes people carry too much food. I certainly found myself doing that a lot, and there were times I'm like, why do I have so much food? Like, this is obviously, like, I'm packing my fears. I don't need all this stuff. So definitely planning and logistics will go a long way for trying to lower your weight, your overall weight. Those are the items I ended my thru hike with. Let me know if I missed anything. And I'm definitely missing the trail a lot right now. It's been already 3 months since I came back, and I'm back at work, and I finally have some time to start making YouTube videos again. So I'm gonna make more videos. Let me know what other ideas you guys have. Maybe you want to know about the budget, or just want to see some videos of the trail itself. I didn't get to really post vlogs on my channel, but I did post a lot of, if you followed me on Instagram, I was posting stories like almost every other day. And I do have a lot of posts on there. Definitely follow me. It's instagram.com/bullfroghikes. And then you could also find my lighter pack link from there as well. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you learned something. And yeah, have a great rest of your day. Bullfrog Hikes signing out. Peace.